Man, so The Exorcist season 1 wrapped up last Friday, and this show has truly become one of my favorite shows on television. And there's many reasons why it's a good television show and it's a good series you should check out. But this is going to be my comprehensive review for season 1. I just want to go over a few things that this show really did well. Now, there were issues with this show, but they were few and far between. It was wonderfully made, and I think the creators did a wonderful job. So the big things that I really liked about this series so far, and especially season 1, is the whole theme of redemption. You know, we see Father Tomas at his lowest, we see Father Marcus at their lowest point, somewhere halfway between this season. And then we see them rise to the occasion and sort of draw on their strength and their faith to defeat the demons in the end. And this whole redemption arc, that Father Tomas and Father Marcus had was wonderfully done, and I think that's the core, that's the heart of the show, and it's wonderfully done. The world building of this show, you start off in small scale, you start off with the Rances, and then you slowly build to this larger conspiracy, and just how they tied everything in at the end was wonderful, and I really do think that's something shows struggle with. Sometimes shows, they expand their worlds, but then they don't know how to tie in all the storylines, and I feel like this show did such a wonderful job doing it at the end. And really, The Exorcist has a name to it, and people suspect certain things out of a show called The Exorcist, and of course that's the horror aspects and the thriller aspects, and they are amazingly done in this show. And actually, I think a thing that people didn't expect, if you watch through season 1, you did not expect the grossness factor to be at such a high level that it is, at the high level it is. But this show has some moments that make you want to throw up, and honestly, that's what I wanted out of this show. And so it does everything you expected it to do. It goes above and beyond what you expected it to do in all the right ways. The show also had a good resolution for season 1, and I think that's important, for one, because The Exorcist may not get a season 2, which would be a shame. But also because, certain shows, they do not wrap up seasons like they should. They just leave the door open. They don't resolve things, but you get great conflict resolution in this show in the end. It really gives you this feeling of, man, I'm satisfied that I just watched those 10 episodes. And ultimately, in the end, I think the show really prospered, one, because, of course, good writing, but mostly because standout performances. And I'm just going to list off a few of the actors that I really thought did a great job with their roles. Alfonso Herrera played Father Tomas in such a great way. We got to see his journey from this flawed man with sin and to, sort of this becoming an exorcist. And really, I think Alfonso Herrera did a great job playing him and playing his emotions to connect with the audience. We also saw my favorite, and probably the fan favorite, I'm guessing, Ben Daniels, Father Marcus. We got to see his journey from sort of this beat down old exorcist who got excommunicated from to this, this man of God who really just, he wants to do what's right, and his faith is so strong that not even persuasion from demons can get him to change his mind. And I think Ben Daniels plays his character and adds so much depth and layers to the character of Father Marcus that, he's definitely probably the strongest character in this show. And it's a shame we won't see the Ranches next season because of the resolution. But at the same time, it was nice. I like that whole idea where you can move to different families or different possessions every season and still have the overarching plot. But I just want to give a shout out to two of the Rances who really did the roles really well. So Casey Rance, portrayed by Hannah Kasulka, does a great job. She's of course the girl who's possessed at the beginning of the show. Just every scene with her is electric, and she could have come across as just overdoing it, but she did it. She played a demon possessed girl in a wonderful way. And ultimately, Geena Davis, playing Angela Rance, the mother, she played that character so well, especially towards the end of the series. Like, I didn't know how I felt about her acting style at the beginning of the series, but towards the end, whenever she actually got possessed and she was trying to get rid of the demon who had left Casey and possessed her, I mean, she killed every scene she was in. She did a wonderful job, and I really do think her performance is a standout. So all four of those actors and actresses had standout performances that made this show as wonderful as it was. But The Exorcist Season 1 is, without a doubt, one of the most underrated seasons of TV that has been released this year. And I just want to get awareness for it. But ultimately, if I had to give it a score, I'd have to give it a 9.0 out of 10. It was just a phenomenal series. If you haven't checked it out, check it out because it needs more attention to be renewed. But I would definitely suggest The Exorcist to anybody. I don't care if you're a fan of the genre or not, because I inherently am not a fan of the genre. But just watching The Exorcist, it's changed my viewpoint and made me want to go back and watch some horror movies because it's just such a wonderfully done show. So I hope you've enjoyed my review for The Exorcist Season 1. Remember to check it out on Fox TV and any way you can. Give it some good press because it deserves it for sure. So I'd give The Exorcist Season 1 a 9.0 out of 10. Remember to like and subscribe, and remember to comment below what you thought of The Exorcist Season 1. This has been Jonesy from Joneser TV signing off.